Yo, what's up, guys? So in this video, I interviewed Neil Lasson. He's the creator of Merch Informer, Book Bowl, and Sell Samurai. And if you guys enjoy this content, make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. Yo, what's up, Neil? What's going on, brother?
Hey, RJ, how's it going?
Doing well, man. Doing well. So, you've been helping people for a very long time, and
It's been like 4-5 years now. When did merch come out? That's kind of when I started in the print-on-demand industry. So
the 2017.
No. Before that, I think it was late 2015.
Okay.
When I got accepted, because there was no sign-up forms. You just sign up and you have an account because no one knew about it. 2016, early 2016, I think I started hopping in Facebook groups.
Okay.
And talking over print on demand with everyone. That was fun.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's when I got their approval to like the mid year of 2016, like June or something like that.
Did they have the the sign up form at that point yet?
Yeah,
no?
They did. That's when they kind of released it, and then the approval, like before it was like an automation, like an automatic approul, and then I missed it by that one day. I got approval. Like, yeah, dude, that's why I tell people to this day, like, if it's a free and it's free to sign up and do it, like, just do it. Like, you can come back to it later on, because there's always the opportunity there. But just do it, because then you'll wait 3 months and don't know what to do. And
for people who weren't around back then, though, it went. One, you could just sign up, instant account. You had an account, you could upload things. Mm-hmm. Then it went to an approval process, and then their team was so small that approval process was. I think the longest I heard was something like 18 months. Someone applied, waited 18 months, and then finally got accepted. So like the huge, long wait lines. And now it's like, what, a week maybe?
Yeah.
So everyone complaining about a week has it really good compared to as soon as they implemented that. That was kind of scary.
Dude, it's weird because some people are getting like approved like in a year. Some people are getting approved in a week. And then and it's weird how they do all this, man. Like I'm still trying to figure out how to, like, because it's some good content to write about, and you know this too as well. How to get approved fast on Merch by Amazon is like we just know like the best ways for you to do it to get approved, and like there's no.
I think it's just being honest, right? Yeah. Like when you sign up, I don't think they really care if you're a graphic artist or not. They just don't want you to abuse the system. So if you're like, hey, my name is blah, 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 this is what I do. This is why I'm excited about creating content for merch. Yeah. Even if you're not an artist, or if you are an artist, put some stuff in there, put your portfolio, put a website. But if you don't have that, just tell them who you are and like why you want to do merch. Yeah. And, that's kind of that's what they're looking for.
Yeah. No, man, it's the wild, wild west out there. I think it's just, and this is a cool thing too, as well. And you're an intelligent guy, and we know this. I know this. You know this. You're very smart because you personally yourself, and actually, like when you first started doing at the very beginning, you seen the opportunity of, doing Merch by Amazon and creating, growing your business and outsourcing.
Yeah. Well, so that came from a spot of absolute hatred for physical products. Mm-hmm. Because right before merch, I was doing private label. So, I was sending stuff from China over to warehouses, and stuff was getting stuck in customs. Dude, I didn't know that Facebook groups existed for this stuff before I started merch, right? So I was doing private label. I knew no one in this space. I had no idea what I was doing. And all my money was constantly tied up with product because it would finally get here.
Yeah.
And then I'd see the sales, boom, 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 boom. Oh, now I have to take that money that I made plus more money to buy more inventory. Mm-hmm. Customer support is probably the number one thing that I was like, people are getting product and then just straight up lying that they didn't get it, and now I have to refund them, and now I'm losing money, and now oh my god.
Yeah.
Someone sends me that TechCrunch article from like 2015, I think. Uh-huh. Hey, you can sell on Amazon, no inventory required. I'm like, sign me up. That sounds awesome.
Dude, I heard that before too as well, because there's a few people that said that. Like Neil's the one that got me into that because of that TechCrunch article. I'm not sure where it was, but I remember that stuff from somewhere.
If you just Googled TechCrunch Merch by Amazon, right? Like it's probably going to be the first thing that pops up.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and it wasn't like merch is today, because what they did is they launched this program for app developers. I'm not an app developer. But I know, I started reading it, and they're like, well, you can have a product listing on Amazon and people can buy it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that's good enough for me. Like,
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. And that's how I got into it.
But if you outsourced it, you're an app developer then, right?
Well, see, the funny thing
Just
is,
kidding.
I had some apps up on like the Google App Store. This was
Yeah.
2013, 2014, so a long time ago. So I dabbled in that a little bit.
Yeah.
But then I saw Merch by Amazon come out. I looked at it. I'm like, okay, I am not a designer. I don't think you're a designer either. I think we're in the same
Mm-mm.
boat there,
Yeah.
right? I put up my first, maybe 10 designs. Now back then there weren't tiers.
Yeah.
No tiers. You put up as many as you want, but yeah, I can't design anything. I had like an old version of Photoshop, like CS3 or something, right? Something
Mhm.
something really
Yeah.
old. So I opened it up and I like, did a few Google searches, watched a few YouTube videos. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna create, a couple things, put them up.
Yeah.
And then within the first week, like multiple products had sold. And I'm like, dude, someone bought this. It looks horrible. Like, I don't understand why someone would ever purchase this, but there was no competition at all. So anything, even if it was terrible, would sell.
Yeah.
Speaking of outsourcing, because that's when I started. I'm like, well, if I had good stuff and I could pump, quality things into the market more
Mhm.
than I can do in say an hour or two, then I just started. I saw the potential there, and I just started hiring people.
Yeah. No, man. I think that's like, you understand who you are and what you can't do, and you're like, you're not willing, like, well, you're willing to do it, but then you're just like, this doesn't make no sense. This is not fun for me. Like, I'm not gonna do
Yeah.
this. This is
Well, you
horrible.
you have to prove that. I think that's really important for everyone watching this. Everyone just doing any type of business first is like prove the concept to yourself,
Yeah.
right? If you start and you try it out and you literally cannot figure out any part of the business, then that concept doesn't work for you. Like, time to move on.
Yeah.
But if you start and you like figure it out, okay, now you understand the framework of the business. Now you can expand. So that's like, that first dollar, the first sale
Mhm.
is always like the most important
Yeah.
because it shows you that anything is kind of possible to build up from there.
Yeah, no, also we are talking about that a little bit too as well. Like, some people in the community, you can see them. They have really freaking, like, they're talented, right, with their design work, or their artists, or they can do next level stuff that you never seen before, and definitely you can do. But we've
Yeah.
seen a lot of people get emotion to it, right, and get attached to it,
Oh,
and
yeah. That's the worst part. That's the
mhm,
worst part. Here's the thing, right? I see people like really good artists,
mhm,
great artists that, create some awesome artwork. But that's not what people are buying on t-shirts. Okay?
mhm,
People are buying things on t-shirts that are gag gifts. They just make them laugh. Like, it doesn't need to be the spectacular work of art that's going to be put in the Louvre, right?
mhm,
It's going on a t-shirt and you need to be able to put up more than one design. If you're spending 2-3 hours on a design,
mhm,
and you become so attached to it and you put it on merch and it doesn't sell, the
mhm,
problem is you just spent 2 or 3 hours on one design where maybe your time would be spent creating easier designs that, catch people's attention, give them some sort of emotion
yeah,
to test multiple products, or hire someone. Like, for me, if I spent 3 hours on a design, I just wasted 3 hours
mhm,
because anything that I create myself is probably not going to look good uh, in the very end, anyways. And I'm just not efficient at creating designs like
mhm.
other people are. So I want their talent to be creating for my merch account.
Yeah. No, dude, like, I totally agree with you right there. And I think it's just something that is it's like at that point too, because like you said, 2 hours, 3 hours making the design, and then next thing you know, you're spending a whole week just to check to see if it's sold. Like, no,
Yeah. Well,
don't do that. Don't do that.
and two, you like the products you put online, like your sell through rate is not going to be 100%. Everything you put on merch is not going to sell.
Mhm.
It's just not. Like, people need to accept that and test the market. And you put up 10 designs, two of them sell. Awesome. Do more of that. Okay.
Yeah.
The other eight, oh well. Like, it didn't take you 3 hours per 8 designs.
Yeah.
So, no harm, no foul there. It's just
Yeah.
playing the game. You gotta play the numbers.
Yep. No, man, I think it's crazy. Now, just like leading into that too as well. I kind of want to go back to about that FBA, just real quick to touch on it.
Yeah.
What's like, do you have any like, sometimes you try to do something and you don't accomplish it, right? And you feel like, I'm going to come back to that and I'm going to accomplish that one of these days. Do you see yourself like, is there anything like that you want to do? Like, do you want to go back and have like a best-selling private label product? Like, or if you ever did, or
At some
maybe there's something
point,
like
I would
that.
like to do some sort of private label if I get a good idea. I don't want to do like a Me Too private label product, right?
Yeah,
Like, I don't want to put up the 10,000th garlic press. So, like, if I have a good idea and I can come up with it, it would be so much easier for me now because I
yeah,
know everyone in the FBA community, right? Like, I've
yeah.
met them all in person now. I mean, it's been
Hmm.
5 years. Before, like, I was making a little bit of money, but it was just headache after headache after headache.
Hmm.
But now I understand Seller Central. Like, now I know people there. So if I did decide to do private label, I think that I can make a good run at it.
Hmm.
But again, I don't want to do it if it's just going to be like another Me Too product. Like,
Yeah,
only if I can come up with a good idea, which right now, like, I haven't gotten that spark of creativity, I guess you could say.
yeah,
Yeah, but maybe. I mean,
yeah.
I
No,
don't think
okay.
anyone should write off anything like that. Like, who knows what the future holds.
Yeah, man. No, for sure. I think it's crazy because it's just like I want to say, as you just start to develop and get smarter and smarter and smarter, right? You learn like, dude, like I was making that mistake the whole time. And that's how easy that mistake, like I was messing up like that. And I know what I can do to perfect that now and be better at it. And I look at myself sometimes
Yeah.
like that, where I just go back. I'm like, dude, I was doing that wrong. Duh. Like, hello, should
But
have
that
did
only
this.
that only comes with experience and actually trying.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, just looking at like the print on demand community as a whole,
Uh-huh.
people might try for a week, maybe, and then
Hmm.
they're done. They're like, I can't do this. Like, I have a problem with this, or I have a problem with that, and I'm done. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know about you, but pretty much anything that I've ever done takes me longer than a few days to a week, if it's
Yeah.
going to be good or work out in the end. So
Hmm.
I think it's
Because
just finding what you're not good at and getting help with that, and focusing on what you are good at and perfecting that.
yeah, one of the things is too is just like once you get your first sale, like it works.
Yep.
That's like the first sign. Like it works. So now what can you ask yourself, what can you do to improve it and make 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 sales?
Well, yeah, like way back, I say way back in the day, but like right in college, right, I was making like these affiliate websites, like content sites. I think
Mhm.
my first commission through Amazon was something like 23 cents. That was the best 23 cents I think I ever made, because it was like, yes, like someone came to the site, clicked a link, and I made money on it.
Yeah,
Same
dude.
thing with merch. I still remember that first sale, right? Like, first sale came in, I looked at the design, I went, oh my God, one, someone is wearing this hideous design out in public. Like, this just got
Yeah.
printed. But two, like, I got a royalty for that, and I didn't have to talk to anyone. Like,
Yeah.
now I know that it works, and it's just not like this black hole that no one understands. I was like, all right, there's something here.
And it's crazy because a lot of people come over here to Merch by Amazon because they don't like some people don't want to talk to nobody, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they don't
that's
want to
true.
talk to people. And I'm just like, what?
But still, okay, but also, right, you have to realize at the end of the day, there would be no profit if there weren't other people on the end of the computer. So while I
Mhm.
understand not wanting to do customer support or anything, and that is also crucial if you're going to expand your business. I mean, other people buy these products, right? So you have to
Mhm.
care about them. You have to.
Yeah.
That's your audience. So I mean, two sides of the same coin, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's it's crazy, man. Just how everything works, and but I think it just literally, if people thought about, okay, focus on that first sale, then then you can focus on the second. Don't focus on, oh, I'm trying to make $3,000 this month
Yep. I
and do all
mean,
this.
you see
It's a
it you see it all the time, and people are also focused on tier. Like, tier this, tier this. I need to tier up. I need to tier up. I need to tier up. I need to tier. Like,
hmm
yeah, okay, it makes sense if you're in tier 10 to
hmm
want to get tiered up, because
yeah,
you need multiple products. But if you're in tier, 10K, 4K, 1K, 3K, whatever it is, and you're not making, consistent sales each day,
mhm,
then tier doesn't matter. Like, you need to focus on optimizing the stuff you already have
yeah.
before a tier really matters at all there.
Yeah, it's like and we know this too. It's like the shiny object syndrome almost, and
Yep.
but it's but also too, I kind of like it's it's like a trophy, right? In the community, it seems like. And
Oh, it
it's
is.
people get happy to do that. And I think that's really cool because we really don't have any type of accomplishments like as far as like, okay, cool, here's your tier level, boom. Like, accomplishments is like making money and stuff like that, of course, for your
Yeah.
personal self, but then they treat it like you got tiered up. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like more of a giving, here you go, here's more of opportunity for you to make more money. And that's like kind of like I see it and I'm just like, okay, I get what you guys are
Like, yeah,
happy
no, I
about.
mean, I understand that point of it, but I think it also kind of I just think people need to focus more on the products that are working for them because I mean,
Hmm.
here's an example, right? You go from 10K to say 20K tier, but you only have up maybe I don't know, 500, couple hundred unique designs, right?
Hmm.
And then the mentality becomes I need to fill up those slots, like I need to fill up 10,000 slots as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And then what happens? They start just putting up whatever they want, not researching it, not optimizing it, not keyword list, like,
Yeah.
you know, and it just becomes more and more and more of this kind of jumbled up Amazon catalog in general. And then they
Yeah.
complain that their sales aren't very good. So it's like a self fulfilling prophecy
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah, man. I think also too, and then there's also like people like people like, okay, you have 10,000 sales. I mean, 10,000 designs up, and you're only making 2,000. You have horrible sales through rate,
Yeah.
and what is?
Well,
But
one design is now 60 plus listings.
yeah,
So, I mean, it's not really about how many listings are live. It's really
yeah,
about how many unique designs you have.
yep, yeah, no, for sure. And I think it's also too just coming down to understanding your niche and, like you said, the research and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. It's I
Because
mean
you,
that let's be honest. That's the biggest thing. If you have the best design in the world,
mhm,
but you don't have a single keyword that people are looking for, it's going to be so lost in search no one will ever look at it. Now, if you have a
yeah,
terrible design, absolutely hideous, but you know how to get it in front of people, if enough people see it,
yeah,
someone's going to bite. Like someone's going to buy that horrible horrible design. But it all comes down to the research, understanding how, the Amazon algorithm works, understanding keywords
mhm,
to get the chance to get it in front of people. I mean,
yeah,
that's the biggest thing. The people that are like I mean, you see this probably too. The people in the groups that say, I never research, I never keyword this, I never do this, I just create whatever I want. Well,
mhm,
congratulations. I don't know a single business who doesn't have some sort of plan in order to grow, right? They don't just
yeah,
do whatever they want, they have a plan forward. So, I
yeah.
mean, it's just so crucial.
Yeah, it helps you stay organized and it helps you, stay accountable and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And there's so much that plays a part into that. And I've been doing that and optimizing that the last like 2 years. Just try to be better, man, and just outdo myself. And I'm pretty sure you're doing the same thing too as well. That's a struggle, right? When you accomplish stuff and then you got to take it to that next level, and then you start to get more bills and as you go along and stuff like that. And you're like,
Yep.
oh, hold on, man. Like it's cool that you're making more money and doing all this stuff, but literally it seems like it's getting tougher and tougher. You know what I
Oh, I
mean?
know.
Like,
Well,
hold on.
and I saw your interview the other day with Cameron,
Yeah,
right? And what do you spend like 80 grand on AMS?
yeah,
Like my spend on AMS isn't anywhere near that. I spend a lot more on designers, right?
yeah.
Because like I keyword all my own stuff. That part is easy. I
Mhm,
just want to fill up the catalog with good stuff, not a bunch of scaled stuff
mhm,
that, or just text. Now, just text can work just fine, but it's getting, to be fair, it's getting harder to
mhm,
get seen in search. Why? Because there's more of us, there's more products. So it's about speed to the market,
mhm.
right? And a bunch of good quality designs that are optimized, with keywords and everything. So I mean,
Yeah,
you have to move fast.
yeah,
If you don't, in any aspect of any business, you have to move quickly. And I
mhm,
personally, like just me, cannot move quickly,
yeah,
right? Because there's too many moving parts. So
yeah.
that's why I hire people.
No, and things just having a team in place it's huge. Like, and it doesn't just start off like
It
your
doesn't.
first
You don't.
day.
Yeah, you don't start
Yeah.
off with a team of 10 people. You
No.
just don't. You'd be bankrupt in a month. you
Yeah.
know,
No, and that,
prove the concept, build, hire, expand. Like
yeah.
it's so easy once you know what you're doing to do that. But I feel like either one, people aren't at that level yet. Totally fine, right? Everyone
Yeah.
starts at zero. Or two, they're deathly afraid. They're like, well, I don't know how to handle a designer. I don't know how to handle X. Neither did we. Like, I had no idea how to hire a designer when I first started. You probably didn't either. Like,
No.
we learned by making a ton of mistakes and kind of learning from going from there.
Yeah, and I also just learned to like just talk to people, man. It's like
Yeah,
that's one of
yeah.
the things too that I've been telling people is like you go on Upwork, you go to online jobs, you can go wherever the heck you're going, right? But like if you get them on a call, like you want to get them on a call as soon as like fast as possible, so you can know that you're serious, and then you just go from there because you
I
just
take
want
a
to know they know
little
the
bit of a
basics.
different approach.
Mm-hmm.
My approach is I'll go through, like, for example, if I'm looking for a designer, I'll
Mm-hmm.
post an ad. Which, by the way, if anyone out there has copied my ad for Merch Informer, it's hilarious. I'll go look on Upwork and there's like 10,000 listings of the exact same copy and paste ad.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, so I'll post an ad, right? And I'll get like maybe 30, 40 people to apply. First thing I'll do, I'll go through them. I'll look at all of their portfolio
Okay.
and I will instantly decline all the ones which are just crappy or don't really match the vibe of Merch by Amazon. I'll instantly hire maybe like, I don't know, 3 to 5 people
Mm-hmm.
for 2 designs each. I'll usually send each one the same idea, right? So if I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, I want this phrase with this X, Y, and Z, I'll give those 2 designs to 5 people. Okay, so 10 designs total. And I'll just see what they come back with. And I'll ask them, like, hey, if you use a graphic from some website, like, please include the link to that licensing agreement.
Yeah.
Okay. And out of those 5 people, there might be one who actually creates unique stuff that looks awesome that could follow the directions. And then
Mm-hmm.
that's the person that I might want to get on a call with. That's the person I might want to move forward with. If you can't like follow simple directions, if you can't communicate on the other side, which sometimes I understand, like there's a language barrier, right?
Mm-hmm.
I only speak English.
Yeah.
They are the ones that speak multiple languages, which
Yeah.
is awesome. But so as long as you can start communicating and figure out and they can listen and you can take feedback or give them feedback, then that's how I move forward because I don't want to waste my time getting on. So, if 30 people apply, I don't want to get on the phone with 30 people. I just want to get on the phone with the people that I know
Yeah.
and we can work together fluently.
Yeah, no, that's the thing too. Just like when you look at their portfolio, you want to kind of see like, okay, this, if they're good or not, if they, because you're gonna tell if they're good or they suck, right? And that's just being
Yeah.
honest. And you're not gonna want to work with them because if they can't perform, you want to be the best, right? You don't
Well,
want.
that's a big thing too. I mean, you look at a design and you know if it's good or bad. And I look at a
Mhm.
design, I know if it's good or bad. Some people just don't have that eye, right? Like
Mhm.
they'll create a design or look at a design and they'll have no idea. I mean, do the colors go together?
Yeah.
Is there 4,000 fonts on one t-shirt design? Like that's
Mhm.
pretty bad. So it's look at Amazon, see what is actively selling and notice that it's not this huge intricate artwork. And two, right? Like it's usually pretty simple stuff, but it's combined in a way that like creates emotion in the buyer.
Yeah.
So it's figuring out what is a good piece of artwork in the first place in order to hire someone to create for you.
Yep. No, for sure. And it's that takes practice and time. I
It does.
think
It
it
does.
doesn't come
Well,
overnight.
sort
And
of.
research.
Yeah. I mean, go look in your closet, for example, right? Like you're not going to open it up and see any kind of graphic t-shirt that is just downright hideous.
Uh-uh.
Like everyone should go look in their own closet because that's good design work,
All my
right?
shirts are plain. All my shirts are plain. So.
All your I have way too many merch shirts that I've like bought in the past or someone has sent me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, it comes down to experience, but it also just comes down to like looking what's around you because you're
Yeah.
not going to have a ton of terrible design work around you. All that stuff is probably past very stringent, design requirements from Walmart, for example, or like whatever you have laying around.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I just like I look at it, I have a blank shirt and then I'm like, dude, I need to find this shirt because it's getting old and I know it's getting long and you can throw it away soon, but I can't find it nowhere and it's my favorite shirt.
Yep.
So I'm just like, dang. But yeah, man. I think this is really cool. Talking with someone like you because like I was kind of like going on at the beginning, it was like you done all this stuff, right? But then you figured out the idea to create tools to make it easier for yourself. But not only that, this is the game changer, right? Is where you give it to the audience too, as well as you started creating these tools and
Yeah.
figuring out ways. one of the things that I admire was like the designer, right, that you created on the back end, right? Because when I first started off, I couldn't afford a new computer because I couldn't. It was like $400 computer, and I was like, dude, there has to be a way that I cannot like. I opened up Photoshop and my computer would crash.
Oh,
Like,
I know that. I know. Photoshop is so intensive with computers that aren't very expensive. It's hard to run. Not only that, but the learning curves on these things are huge.
Oh God,
they're huge.
I don't know what I'm doing.
But you could, right? But you have to spend a ton of time doing it, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to spend 1,000 hours learning Photoshop, so I'm very proficient. I just don't. I want to spend time selling T-shirts. I want to spend time selling books. So, so it depends on what you want to spend your time on.
Yeah. No, and I think that's important because it's just like that right there alone was like, I'm like, dude, this is a big game changer for someone barely starting and they don't want to invest in a computer just yet, and they're not making any money. Once they start making money, and of course, invest into a better computer and do all that stuff. But what was the idea behind like with Merch Informer? And now, if you guys don't know what Merch Informer is, it's a tool for just, I want to say, print on demand in general, right?
Yeah, it's gotten. I mean, we kind of have added everything that we had issues with. The idea in Merch Informer at the very beginning was I was spending 12 hours a day on the computer on the Amazon search bar, just searching things in and creating spreadsheets, right? So I'd look around my desk, I'd notice, I have a pocket knife on my desk. I'd search in knife shirt. Okay. I'd go through every single listing on the front page, maybe first 3 pages, throw it into a spreadsheet, and then, analyze that data. Are people buying knife shirts? Are people buying chef shirts, right? All day long. And I'm like, eventually, like, I want to do other things besides just look at the Amazon search bar. So that's kind of why it started, was just to save me time. But we've built it into so many tools. I mean, there's research tools, there's trademark tools, there's design tools, there's uploading tools, there's free graphics inside. I mean, so it basically it started off as I need to save time because no one wants to sit on the computer all day. No one does. And it ended up being, well, the community has all of these issues and they can be solved with a computer program instead of you sitting there. For example, trademarks, right? Bane of my existence. Anyone who uploads or anyone's in any of these groups has probably noticed everyone complaining about trademarks. Okay, the whole trademark system, absolute mess.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? Because, for example, you write down, a title, some bullet points, a description, and then you're looking at it before you hit submit. And you go, okay, I need to check this against the USPTO. But what do you check? Like, what phrase in there? What string of words do you check on the USPTO? I don't know, right? You're just guessing at that point. So we built a tool to check that with one click. Or, I'm not an artist, but I want to have, graphics that I can put together with my own text.
Yeah.
Then I started looking around at different licensing agreements on other marketplaces, and they're like, oh, you can buy this graphic and you can buy the subscription, and then you can only create 5 end products. I'm like, 5 end products? Do you know how many products people sell on print on demand? Like, you could put one shirt up and it would sell 9,000 copies that year.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, that license agreement just won't work. So we started creating graphics each month. So it's just like little things like that. Things pop up. I see there's a problem for either me or a large group of people in the community. I'm like, well, let's do our best to fix this.
Yeah. There you guys go to as well. Like, that's one way to just make money, right? If you see a problem, fix it. That's it. It's simple. That damn simple. I'm being honest with you guys too. If you see a problem, fix it, right? And also too, just if you're helping people, right? There's a problem and you're helping people, and that's the idea behind that. You know what I mean? You're taking the time out of your day. You should make some money, but at the same time, if that person is going to, that person, there's probably a ton of people that made tons of money with the merch designer on the back end, right? There's a ton of people, right? And then the trademark check, there's a ton of people that save their accounts. They're $100,000 accounts, they're $50,000 accounts, or whatever their merch account, how much it is, whatever it is. There's that trademark tool. So it just, the idea behind it, what Neil's doing and what he's doing to help people, right? And then, of course, the cherry on top, it's a win-win situation. He's making money on top of that, but the tool is like worth more than what he's charging, and that is the best part about it. So,
well, that's the thing too. Like going back to, I mean, when we first launched it, right?
Yeah.
I had no idea we were going to price that. All I wanted was a simple tool for myself to save me some time. But then I started looking around and I'm like, like merch by Amazon is new for everyone. We should just price it really cheap.
Yeah.
Price it at $9.99 just so people can have access to it, because we want people to use it. We want people to sell more things. And 3, like, we want your merch account to be able to cover it. Yeah. Right? Like you need to sell what, 2 shirts? I think it's still 2 shirts. To cover $9.99, depending on what you price at.
Next year it'll be 5 shirts. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like we wanted something accessible to people, because all the tools that we've built over time are because either we or someone in the community had an issue in their business. Yeah. Right? So we want people to not have those issues, and it to be a smoother path than either you or I had, just getting started, not knowing what we were doing, figuring everything out, which is the reason that, I create a ton of content, you create a ton of content. So, I mean, it's a win-win there too.
And it's crazy because it's just like me and you, we create content about like a lot of stuff, and we end up sometimes creating the same content. And it's crazy because it's cool though, because it's like, you have your people and I have my people, and then at the end of the day, they kind of both know who we are, but it's just good intentions. Yeah. And that's why we're creating the content to actually help you. And there's so much content that I like personally myself that I create on my channel. There's so much content that you create on your channel and your other platforms and my platforms too as well. But it just, the idea behind it is just to help you succeed online. Right. And there's no taking from that at all. You cannot take from that. You're helping people.
I try. I mean, like, if you go look at the Merchant Forum blog, so I'm more of like a writer than a video person. If you look at RJ's video output versus mine, like he blows me out of the water. Yeah. But there's so many words written on that blog. Now I haven't written in a while, but all of that content going back to when we first started, it's still relevant today, right? Like there's stuff in there about, I see this all the time in the groups. Oh, I'm in tier 10. Like, how do I get out of tier 10? I don't know. How about do something? What does that mean? It means like get people excited about your shirts. Let them know that they exist. That's called marketing. Like, okay, what kind of marketing should you do? Well, there's tons of, you don't have to pay for marketing, right? You don't have to do AMS. Most people aren't even going to have access to AMS. Yeah. There's tons of free methods. I've probably written about them because like, that's what I did before I got into Merch by Amazon, right? Like, I was pretty much an advertiser in the affiliate world, big content websites. So there's so much you can do to drive traffic, but everyone either goes and looks at that information and then, does something with it, or they post in the group like, well, when am I going to get my first sale? Yeah, they post in the YouTube comments, like take some action. It doesn't even matter what, just like try something and eventually something will work.
Yeah, man. No, and it's crazy because you just gotta, that's the thing too, is like, you got to work at it. And I'm going to like, it doesn't matter if someone is selling something or giving it away for free. You still have to work at it. And that's the thing. That's just what it is. More competition. That means you got to figure out ways to beat your competition. Right. And you just got to be unique and different.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we were talking about this a little bit before we got on, and it's like, at the end of the day, we're all trying to sell on the same platform. Yeah. So when I'm talking about speed and I'm talking about, hiring people and getting things uploaded, going back to the example of someone who spends 3 hours on a design, it's amazing, and they upload that design and they wait, say, a week, and they're just refreshing, like, did I get a sale? Did I get a sale? In that same week, you or I maybe uploaded a couple hundred designs where we have a couple hundred more being made. We're advertising, we're running free traffic. Like we're thinking about ideas of how to grow the business instead of clicking refresh. Yeah. So it's about, because anyone who does anything different besides put something up and wait, the person that's waiting is just going to fall further and further behind if they're not just trying something. So I mean, it's about just taking action.
Yeah, man. And I totally agree with you on that too as well. Like I like there's some days I'm like, I'm not checking my sales today. I'm just going to focus on seeing what I can do to improve, to be better at what I'm doing. And that's totally sometimes.
Dude, the other day was a perfect example of this. I hadn't logged in that day and I logged into Facebook and I see everyone freaking out, absolutely freaking out about the update in the policy that they didn't put a dashboard update on. And I asked in one of the chats, I'm like, what is this about? Like, I had no idea, right? I hadn't logged in that day.
Yeah.
And then I started digging into it. I'm like, oh, wow.
What is it? What is it, Neil? What is the
suggestive use, okay,
uh-huh.
has been updated in the back end, their terms, where you should not put any suggestive use into your bullet points, into your title, into your description, into the metadata, right? So metadata is just any of the text on the screen that we enter.
Yeah.
No suggestive use. So everyone decided that the world was ending because suggestive use, as Merch wrote, includes the word gift, funny, birthday, stuff like that. I mean, I think I posted some funny comment about like, hey, here's a shirt, right? It's got a cow on it. Like, how do you keyword a listing without suggestive use? It's just one cow on a shirt. Like, what would you do? Right? I mean, I don't know. Cow? That's all you can put in there. So everyone's freaking out about that. But let's be completely honest and relax for a minute here. At the end of the day, if Merch decided to go and remove every single listing that had either suggestive use, right? So like, let's say you put something on a shirt and you said, hey, maybe it's a Halloween costume or Halloween. It's suggesting the designs for Halloween. You put makes a great gift for, right? You're suggesting it makes a gift. If they went through and they took down every single shirt that had suggestive use anything in it, I think the merch catalog would have nothing in it, like zero shirts. So do I know what's going to happen? No, of course not. But
like, this is my Halloween costume, right? Like on the
right,
shirt,
like
right?
you're suggesting that design is for Halloween or it's a costume. That's apparently not allowed anymore.
What I'm going out with this because I did. I was like, oh God, no. I was like, wait a they can't just take off my like pretty much 80% of my catalog. Yeah. And I was like, that doesn't make no sense for them. Like, why would they go back and do all that? They might as well just reset Merch by Amazon and make everyone sign up again. That's what I was thinking. And I was like, maybe they're talking about this birthday gift is for sister, comma, brother, comma, stepsister, comma, half naked sister.
I think it's for both though, right? I mean, they really plainly say no suggestive use. So the problem is, one, they're not going to take down the entire merch catalog. Two, I mean, I've written about it. I do it personally. Almost like 100% of my listings and probably a lot of other people's in one of the bullet points ends with makes a great gift for friends and family. Right? Like that is so ingrained in my fingers now. Like it's just what I've always done. It reminds me a lot of the if you want a looser fit, order a size up.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That hit.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if you guys think back to last year, they updated their policies that said no keyword stuffing, and they were going to take down shirts that were keyword stuffing. Right?
Yeah.
Did you lose any shirts over that?
No.
Did you hear about anyone who lost any shirts about that?
No.
Have you heard about any rejections that lost any shirts about that? No. It's been a whole year and nothing has happened. So I think the best plan of action is probably just, hey, going forward, don't use gift in your titles, don't use gift in your bullets. But I mean, people aren't going to go back and change 100,000 products.
It's not even worth your time.
Madness. So,
you're like, hey, just suspend my account. I'm over. Bye. See you later.
So, yeah, I don't think it's the end of the world. I mean, yes, it does suck that reading their new terms of service, their back end, you're shooting in the dark. Let's just be completely honest. You're reading between the lines. They're keeping it super vague on purpose. But I think as long as your products aren't really causing an issue, and what I mean is an issue like, they came out and they said no offensive products. I think that happened because some offensive product got shown in the news or showed up on some news article online, and that just gives bad press to Amazon. Yeah. So, as long as it's not causing an issue like that, I don't think anyone should be concerned. But hey, that's just my opinion, right? I'm just one person.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone knows.
Like, no one has any idea. So we're kind of waiting on more clarity because they updated a page that probably no one looks at after they read it one time.
Yeah.
and they never put a update in the dashboard. So,
Yeah.
you
So
know,
I'm pretty sure they kind of know about it already because it's been going kind of crazy.
yeah,
And dude, I think it's like I was like, dude, it doesn't make no sense. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, waiting for them to kind of update that and be more clear about it and stuff like that, and what they mean exactly. Because you know how they do it, right? And you know they're big Amazon. How big Amazon is, they leave you in the middle. Like, what up? Am I allowed to have these type of shirts up? You know what I mean? Because I had to go
and
back and delete
never
some.
tell you. They'll never tell you.
Mhm.
So, I mean, they're never going to give you a yes or a no answer. It's always like reading between the lines. So, I
Mhm.
think like a good rule of thumb is, as long as it's not really bad. I mean,
Yeah.
anyone can think about like what really bad means, right? I don't need to give
Mhm.
examples of that. But I
Yeah.
mean, stuff like,
Don't mess up my monetization, dog.
yeah, yeah, you know what I mean, though, right? Like shirts that graphic shirts are meant to get a rise out of people, some sort of emotion. So
Yeah.
as long as it's not like just pure rage or like, oh my gosh, I can't wear this in front of anyone in public, sort of
Grandma,
thing.
grandpa.
Well, no, I mean just like imagine wearing a shirt out in public that was so bad that like you would turn off strangers, right? Like that
Yeah.
you probably don't want to upload. But stuff that's kind of like you might see a stranger wearing it and kind of chuckle to yourself because it's
Yeah.
maybe a little offensive, I wouldn't worry too much
Yeah.
about. But again, it's my opinion, and we'll see. We'll see. So
If I were a graphic shirt like that in front of my grandpa, he'll probably give me a high five and give me a beer and all that stuff. My grandpa's different, so he can't. He's doing that type of stuff. No, dude, because there's so much there's so much about that right there, and I think it's just big, and it scares a lot of people in the community because they actually, and I think this is really good too, because they actually care about their merch account, and they
yeah,
actually are trying to follow the rules on the merch account. And I'm a
and
big,
merch,
because
to
me
be
too.
honest, is making it hard. They're
Hmm.
making it extremely difficult for people to know what they're doing because it's not black and white. But here's the thing: I don't think it's ever going to be black and white. I think it's just going to continue getting more and more vague
Hmm.
because think about it from Amazon's side, right? They're like, okay, we have all of these designers, they're designing, they're making money, we're making money as Amazon, but they want to have the ability to make sure they're protected from any bad press, from any, customer disputes that might come up. So yeah, it really sucks as a designer to have absolutely no idea. And I really wish there'd be some black and white, like,
Hmm.
yes, you can do these kind of shirts. No, you cannot do those shirts. I mean, did you see the video that they put up? They said like this is good content, thumbs up. This is bad content. An example of a shirt was like thumbs down with an
Hmm.
exclamation point. I'm like,
They
that
outsource that.
that does not help anyone. But I think it's going to continue being vague just for that reason. So
Yeah.
we're going to
Nah,
have to
man.
keep reading between the lines, trying our best. But here's the thing, right? Like I don't think as long as you are trying to be a good seller,
Hmm.
they're not just gonna come out and ban you for that. Now,
Yeah.
if you're uploading, 40 Kanye West shirts and 20 Nike shirts, yeah, you're gonna get booted real quick. So I
Yeah.
think I think that's the differentiate. Like, are you trying to be a good seller?
Yeah.
Are you
And
trying to avoid trademarks?
that's something I've been thinking about too, Neil. It's just as a content creator and trying to help people, right, and try to see people succeed. I think it's just like I need to, me personally, and I would love other people in the community to do it too. Is what we need to make more of those videos about. This is what you should not do, and this
Yeah,
is why. And like, because there's people from other countries, they're not from just the US, right? They don't know what that is. And I get it, because what they do is just they're looking and they're searching and they see that this design is selling. So I'm going to make my own design, my own variation of that design, and put it up too. And it makes sales. Like, no, that's not how it works. And
yeah.
most of these people were like,
Well, that just comes back to understanding the niche, which is way harder for non-English speakers. Like it just
mm-hmm,
is, right? But at the end of the day, you have to understand the niche you're selling in if you want to be successful. I mean, I have shirts and niches that I couldn't care about at all, right? But I took the time to figure out, like, okay, in this specific niche, like, what is the terminology that people are using?
yeah,
What are the keywords that these people are searching for? And I come across keywords I've never heard about before, right? So you Google them, you trademark check them, you make sure that, hey, this isn't like part of a movie quote, this isn't part of a song. I mean, I've seen that happen a lot.
yeah,
Right. Someone sees something selling, which happens to be part of a song, and they like redo the whole thing and they put it up and they get a rejection or they get a takedown. And it's like a 5-second Google search
Yeah.
could have just saved you that strike against your account. Like that's it.
That's
Super
that's
easy.
that's exactly what you just said, man. Like I did on a video earlier. It's just a Google search, right? And when you do that, you do the Google search, you can see like the images pop up, right? You're like, oh, okay, I can't do this because it's part of a song, or
Yep, or
it's
album artwork or something like
yeah,
that, right? I mean,
uh-huh.
5 seconds could be a learning opportunity, right? And then you're
hmm
gonna figure out, well, I should never do that again.
hmm
So, you know,
And some people are just like they're in a hurry to make sales and make money real fast, and that's not the way you make money real fast. Like
no,
you
it's
there's
not.
other ways you can make money, but maybe not that fast. But like if you're chasing trends and stuff, yeah, you probably can do it. But it just takes some time. It's not. I wish it was that damn easy, right? I
But
wouldn't
the
be.
thing is that like people want to play in a gray area, right? And like, oh yeah, maybe you're gonna make a ton of money, but you're never. That's the thing. You're never gonna see that money because Amazon's gonna ban you and keep it.
Yeah.
So what did you gain for all that effort? Nothing.
Yep. Um. Now, so what is the best opportunity right now for beginners for print on demand?
I think it depends on what you want to do. In print on demand in general, I think the best opportunity probably is Etsy because the margins are way higher. Now,
Yeah.
let's just think through this. You're gonna have to talk to people. That might be
Yeah.
a downside, but I'm telling you, long term, that's really an upside, right? It gives
Yeah.
you an opportunity to build a brand. It gives you an opportunity to get your communication skills up, and the margins are like 100 to 250% better
Mhm.
than marketplaces.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to do none of that and you want to get started today and you don't want to do customer service, then probably KDP just because there is a wait period you have to apply for merch by Amazon.
Yeah.
But KDP you can sign up today and in the next 10 minutes get your book up.
There you go. There they go, flooding all my niches. I'm
There you
just
go.
kidding. No, I think it just I heard a few people this year say that I am not doing Etsy no more because during Q4 there were so many issues and people reaching out to me with questions and I couldn't provide the shipping times and I'm done talking to people. I'm just like, dang, they're really like people get like anxiety like that. And I'm like, that's crazy. You probably just need to take a break and literally write down, the mistakes and the errors and stuff that are happening and see what you could do to fix those. That way you can scale your business to that level that you want it to be. But some people just like, I'm not talking to people. That's it.
Yeah, but see, those other people have the money that you want to make. Like if there's money that you want to make, other people have it. That's why we sell products. That's why we sell books. That's why we sell t-shirts,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, with merch by Amazon, it's just that someone else is dealing with those people. But in Etsy's example, right? Like you can do print on demand. You can hook up a print provider and you can sell for $35 a t-shirt. Your
Yeah.
margins are just so better. And here's the thing with customer service, like it's going to teach you how to speak to people. It's going to you'll be able to build a brand because you'll get a reputation for being good at what you do and
Yeah.
people will like your responses. But at the end of the day, yeah, there's going to be some of those people who are just a pain and you're never going to make them happy, right? And you
Yep.
might get a bad review, but that's life. That's
Yep.
life. So you just move on, you solve that problem, refund the customer, whatever. Maybe you get a bad review, maybe you don't, and you move on to the next sale. So I mean, at the end of the day, that stuff really shouldn't bother you too much. I mean, just do the best you can and move on and just
Yeah.
improve.
Yeah, man. I learned how to do customer service at Kmart. When I worked at Kmart, so I'm like, you literally think about how people get really upset. I'm just like, dang, they really got that upset over that. Like,
Yep.
whoa,
Yep.
like for reals. I wonder what's going on at home. Damn, I'm just kidding. No, but that's just for
It's
reals though.
it's crazy. I mean, some people just have a chip on their shoulder and nothing you do or say is going to help that. But that's not the majority of people. The
Yeah,
majority of people are actually really nice.
yeah,
And,
man.
they're willing to work with you, especially as a small business. I mean, during all the COVID stuff, especially on Etsy, if you're like, hey, I'm a small business, I'm having a bit of an issue with my supply chain, I'm happy to cancel your order. Otherwise, this is when I think it might get delivered. Please let me know what you think, sort of thing, right? Like,
Yeah,
as long as you're open and honest, people are going to respect that.
yeah. Yeah, man. It just communication is key and telling them, right? And some people don't want to tell them, but if you literally do what you just said, that's like a game changer because then they're like, okay, cool. Like this person's being honest with me. and very open, and I feel like
It
I can
just
talk to them.
don't over like you want to over deliver. You don't want to set their bar too high and then
Uh-huh.
not meet those expectations. That's when you get into problems. I mean,
Yeah,
especially during the COVID chain of issues, you want, if they're ordering something and they don't get it within the week, they should know before the week is over that they're not going to be getting it, right? I
yeah,
mean, you need to set their expectations and then deliver on those.
yep. No, so I wonder how important is it to do keyword research, and this can be just basically on any selling platform. And I know you're a big fan of this, like the research and the keywords and stuff like that. How important is it, like, to do that and maybe
It's
getting, let's say, a person just trying to get their first sale, all right, and they're
it,
putting up
it's
their
it's
design.
the most important because I don't know if I mentioned on the call. I mean, that is literally the number one thing that you should do. Why? I don't know if I mentioned it here or a little bit before, but like if you have the best design ever, but you don't have any idea how to get eyeballs on that design,
Mhm.
no one will ever see it. If you have the worst design ever, but you know how to put enough people in front of that design, eventually you're going to sell something.
Yeah,
Right. And the only way we have to get people in front of that listing is marketing, which most people aren't doing, let's be honest. And
yeah,
two is keywords, because keywords is how you move up the algorithm. So figuring
mm,
out what people are searching. Okay. You found a keyword that someone's searching. How many times a month is it getting searched? Is it getting searched one time a month from just that one person?
mhm,
Or is it 1,000 people typing that in? Okay, now there's a built-in audience. Now we know what we're trying to sell to. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's literally all about keywords because that's how you're going to rank higher in the search results.
yeah. I also I got in a few arguments with this with a few designers, and they're just like, no, this is the design. I'm like, no, it's not, because you're perfect, you're good design, my shitty design, I sell more than you. So
Because you can put more people in front of it,
yep.
right? Like that I see this all the time where people are like, I just do what I want. I just put up what designs I want to make, and I've never had an issue. And they're always like, tier 25, and they've made one sale a week. That's awesome if you just want to do this on the side. But if you want to build a business out of it, you need a plan, and that plan should include getting people in front of your listings, right?
Yeah.
Not creating what you want. I mean, I don't want any of my merch designs. I'd never wear them. But other people on the internet want this stuff, so that's what I want to create for. I want to create for an audience that's hungry to buy stuff, and I
Yeah.
need to make sure people are actively searching for it.
Hmm. Yeah, man. It's crazy. And I said the same thing. It's like people ask you, like, do you buy your stuff? I'm like, nah, dude, I don't. Like,
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
it's not cool to me. Like, that's not me. That's not my personality. Like, I don't know. I'm just different.
But other people do, and that's what matters,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's how
that's what
you make
matters.
money.
Yep, exactly. So, Book Bolt, right? I wanted to kind of touch on that too a little bit. You're the creator of that too as well over there.
Yes, sir.
You've done some awesome things, very similar to Merch Informer with that. And that, I think how many people are gonna help out this year, man? That's my next. That's gonna be. We're going down the line of questions. It's like, how
I
many
don't
damn
know.
people are gonna
I
help
don't
this year?
know. A
So
lot. I mean, the
yeah,
thing with BookBolt though is that like we looked around, right? Everyone's jumping into low content, and again, it's like I started doing low content. I've done KDP for years and years and years,
uh-huh.
with like some long form books. Started jumping into low content and realized like it's almost impossible to do research on just low content books because there's so much gumming up the search results.
Yeah,
Like again, I don't want to spend 10 hours a day doing this.
yeah,
I want to figure out what keywords have search volume, designing those books. Oh my God, like, covers and sizes. And if you have 100 pages versus 103 pages, the spine's going to be different. And figuring out all of that, putting it into a software that's way easier to use than me fiddling around with who knows what on my computer. I mean, again,
dude. That
all the tools we built there are for sellers who are actively having these problems.
figuring out the size and how to do all that stuff. Me, like, I'm not no. I don't know how to do none of that, right? I don't know how to, like, the interior, what size is it supposed to be? At the very beginning, I didn't know how to do none of that, and then how to figure out the size for the cover. I was like, dude, this is like a another language. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm done. I can barely know English. How am I gonna figure this out? So it took me like 3 weeks of figuring it out just to do that.
Yeah,
And
it's
3
bad.
weeks. That's a long time, dude. That's how many hours and how many days I could have been focusing on something else, and literally you just do that in there, and it's so much easier to do. And
Yeah. Well,
there's another.
here's the thing too. KDP. Something that's really awesome about KDP is you can use Bookbolt. You can use whatever you want.
Uh-huh,
To keywords your listings, find keywords that people are searching for, put them in your listings. But the awesome thing about KDP is there's no waiting period to sign up. But two, you have access to AMS, right? Like you
uh-huh.
don't have to wait for your merch code to show up to get access to ads. It's just like promote and advertise, and then you can go through the thing and get your ads running immediately.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's
That's
awesome.
huge.
If you're not doing that, if you're not doing KDP, by the way, and like, there's no like we don't get no type of affiliate or nothing like that at all from that. You better like be working over there because I honestly I think it's like the best opportunity when they compare the two. I'm
Yeah.
like, just do KDP, man. Like it's like merch by Amazon. It's like gonna be so overwhelmed, and you're gonna be trying to paying attention to what everyone else is making, all that stuff. Just go do KDP. Go over there, and it's you can make making a sale on a book is pretty cool. I think it's
Still,
there's more of a
there's
value
yeah,
for a book
yeah,
than a
and the
shirt.
thing is, there's so few people doing it. I mean,
Hmm.
you'll see the groups and you'll be like, "Oh, there's a ton of people doing." They really aren't because people, just like you said, they look at it and they go, "This is another language. There's more than one step." Oh my god! And they just get shocked and they freeze.
Yeah,
When in reality, like once you go through it once, really, really easy to do.
yeah, yeah, man. It's crazy. So yeah, dude, just do it. This is freaking awesome interview. We're wrapping it up in a bit, but Cell Samurai, right?
Correct.
Did I get? Oh, okay, I got it right. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. No, you want to explain a little bit about that? That's new. I know that you just posted the other day. You posted in the group. I'm like, hey, dude, what are you doing? What's going on? What the heck?
Yeah,
And then
we just launched a new software called Sales Samurai. It's salessamurai.io. We've been working with some Etsy sellers over the past probably year or so, coming up with this software because, like, yeah, there's a lot of other softwares out there for Etsy,
yeah,
which I used maybe a year plus ago, and they were, to be honest, there was just a lot of fluff. And they were kind of gummed up, and it wasn't exactly what I was looking for in order to find the keywords that people are searching and actually analyze my shop and other stores.
hmm,
Right. So, we worked with some people, got their feedback, put it together in this software, and we just launched it the other day. Not the other
yeah,
day. I mean, I guess it was the other week, right?
yeah,
But yeah, just put up the tutorial videos last week too. It's got a 3-day free trial if you guys want to check it out. But there's a lot of good stuff inside with none of the fluff. I'm just gonna
yeah.
be honest. Like the tools in there are meant to be used. There's no like random small little things that no one really uses that people add
Yeah,
to websites or stuff like that to make it look like it's more features, more featureful, stuff like that. Like we just want things in there that'll help people sell more. That's it.
yeah.
That's it.
Okay. No, I haven't checked it out though, but the people are talking about it, so that's a good start. And the 3-day free trial, that's pretty cool too as well. I think it's a
Yeah.
regular with you now, huh?
Yeah, I
That
mean, you know what else we put in there? We put in some automation software to help people upload to these print providers that integrate with Etsy as well.
Ooh,
So that's in there too.
okay, cool, man. That's freaking awesome. We're coming up right here. So where can people follow you at, man? Also going back to that, going back to that real fast. And other programs that can integrate with Etsy, like what do you mean, like
So right now is
Printful?
three. It's
Okay,
it's Printful, it's Printify, and it's Guten because all three of those integrate with Etsy. They all offer a ton of products. They all have their different price points, but I know most of the community is using either one of those three. Um,
nice. Okay,
Probably either Printful or Printify.
yeah.
Those are probably the big two.
Okay. I also recommend like finding a unique product, right?
Yeah.
That your design will fit on and
Well, that's the thing,
literally.
right? Like, okay, everyone is coming over from merch and selling T-shirts.
Hmm.
Okay, what about creating what if you're just like, I want to sell bath curtains, right? You can sell bath curtains for a lot more money than you can a T-shirt, and your
Yeah.
margins will be excellent. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just about sticking out and being unique, as long as the design works for it, right?
Yeah. I think that's cool because it's just you're being like very like you have to understand like you're going over to a different platform. You have to understand the audience and understand what they want and just kind of just give it to them. Give them what they want. You make money. That's it.
It's different. It's a lot different, but at the same time, the margins are better. You can build a brand. The customers are not as price sensitive. So I mean, like, there's a lot to like about selling on other platforms outside of just marketplaces like Merch by Amazon or Redbubble or something like that. But my thing and what I tell people is like figure out one and then just expand everywhere else, right? You already have, if you're doing print on demand, you already have the design assets. It's just about figuring out how to best utilize those across the internet.
Yeah. And I think, like I said, KDP, like if you have custom illustrations and all that stuff, dude. And over there at Etsy too, digital downloads, stuff like that. Crush it over there with those type of things. So, yeah, that's really freaking dope. Nah, man. So, where can people follow you?
Where can people follow me? I don't really have any like personal social medias. Merchinformer.com, bookbolt.io, salesamurai.io. I'm always in all of these Facebook groups. I'm in RJ's group. RJ's got an active group. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, man.
Any of those websites, a lot of content. There's no content on the salesamurai.io yet. Okay. That will be coming, so post some comments below, people. I'd like to know what I should write about, and then RJ will probably make videos on it too. So
yeah, man. Always are down to make some videos and stuff like that to help people out. So basically, he just said he don't have any like social stuff like that, but he said that he's all in. And he's all in, and these are the businesses that he's doing, and he's there to help and stuff like that. So Neil, just want to tell you thank you and appreciate your time on here with us.
Appreciate it as well.
Lot of valuable content in there from scale designs, talking about outsourcing the best design compared to the shittiest design, trademarks, and then we also talk about the word gift. Right, and that's a big topic. That can be another video too as well. If we talk about it on here, I can just we'll make a separate video on that too. So Neil. Thank you very much, man.
Yeah.